Hi everyone. Okay, so my name is Tiffany Harper. If you are not familiar with who I am the co-founder of Team Fuel. I am a diamond coach and I have been a Beachbody coach for 4 years this past August. So this video is a little bit more personal and it's something that has been literally been weighing on my heart for a long time, just because the last few weeks I've been reflecting back on my time as a coach and on my business and what I've achieved, what took me a long time to learn, what I overcame, what I did well, and what I didn't do so well. And one thing that really struck me, especially this last year up until August, in regards to my business, is what I've been able to accomplish, even though my circumstances weren't exactly ideal or very fun. Sorry. Just to give you a little bit of background, if you don't know, my husband was a pastor a few years ago, and then he lost his job, and he was out of work for 8 months, and God provided in those 8 months. I was still working my business, but I wasn't making very much money at the time. It was probably like $300, $400 a month, which when you don't have any money coming in, it's a godsend, and it truly is remarkable what God was able to do. We were able to buy groceries or pay for gas and buy little things that we needed here and there. And we were lucky that we had people who were able to help us pay for rent so that we didn't have to break our lease and pay penalties on top of that. So it was a blessing. God provided for us at that time. But he was out of work for 8 months until he got a new job, and it was as a case manager for a nonprofit organization. But what came with that job was that we were to live on a ranch in the middle of nowhere on the side of a mountain, and not only just live on the ranch, but also live in a 35-foot trailer. I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but excuse me. We were to live on a trailer, myself and my husband and 2 kids. And we thanked God for the job. It was a paying job. We had insurance, and so there was blessing in that. But it was difficult. I mean, we were isolated. We didn't have a home church. We didn't have a lot of community. In order to get community, I decided to homeschool my kids. I wasn't too sure about the school that was in the area, so I felt like God was leading our family to homeschool this year, and so I homeschooled my kids in the trailer. We did not have Wi-Fi, or we had very limited Wi-Fi that was strictly used for Dan's job. It wasn't to be used for personal use, so if I did have Wi-Fi connection, it was because we drove the hour and a half into town to go visit my in-laws. And so I had to schedule everything around when we would be, at my in-laws' house, and if I wanted to upload videos or any actual content via YouTube or anything like that. So for the next year, in order to have community, I homeschool my kids, and we joined a co-op in Temecula. So one day a week, I made sure that my kids had some sort of interaction and friends, and we were able to build community that way. But it was difficult because that cost a lot in gas, and that took time. We had one car, and it was difficult. But what's been amazing is that even though I had very limited options, I had no Wi-Fi, I lived in a trailer. I did all of my workouts either inside a trailer, or I took my laptop outside on the patio area that we set up, and I did my workouts there. We lived on the side of a mountain. We had one other family there, by the grace of God, that had a little boy, so my son had someone to play with, and I still worked my business. Our cell phone bills were a little bit higher. We made a decision to upgrade our, internet capability with our cell phone, so our data plan. So our cell phone bills were higher. But God was incredibly amazing to me, because in the last year, I grew my business triple in income by living in a trailer with no Wi-Fi, and by just deciding, you know what, this is really hard. I thought about quitting a lot, and this is really hard, but I'm going to do it because my family is my why. I'm going to fight for my family. This is not what I want for my family. I'm going to do it. And I spent a lot of time texting Michelle. I made the decision I was going to hit diamond. I dead or alive I was going to hit it. Not because I just wanted to be diamond, but because I knew what it could do for my family and for my team. So it took me 6 months to do that. There's a lot of frustration. She could tell you. I texted her, and there was a lot of disappointment. I'm sure, even for her, I'm sure she wanted it as much for me as I wanted it. But I had her support, and I knew she knew what was going on and what kind of situation I was dealing with. So after a while, I hit it, and I was so happy because I did see an increase in my income. I make more money now by living in a trailer than I did the last 2.5 years by having everything work well for me, having Wi-Fi and having enough money and not feeling constrained. It was because my why really became my number one priority to push through. It had nothing to do with just hitting rank or seeing an increase in paycheck. It was because the reason why I became a coach in the first place was because I wanted to help my family, and I wanted to help my husband, and I want my husband's dreams to come true. He wants to be in ministry. He wants to work with the local church, and so that was something I knew that wherever he was hired, he probably wasn't going to make a ton of money to provide for all of us forever. It would be good money. That's not to say he was going to make pennies, but the job that he was at now as a case manager, we were making poverty level. He was making poverty level, and he's a smart man. He worked hard, and he wasn't making enough. So I made the decision right then that even though I was living on the side of a mountain, I didn't have all the necessary comforts that come along with having your own business. But I decided to put up or shut up. And I decided that this was a no-fail option. I was going to succeed in this business, and I was going to help my team succeed. And so I don't know about you, but I need to ask you, what is your gut telling you? What is your why? You need to do a gut check. If you're going through some difficult periods in your life right now, maybe your marriage is falling apart, maybe you're transitioning, maybe it's really difficult, maybe it's just a really hard season, there's a lot of emotions, maybe you're having financial hardship. What was your reason at the very beginning to join this business? What is your why? And are you going to, no matter what's going on around you, those things are reality. Don't mistake my saying that they're not real. It is. I understand they're very real circumstances, and they're very painful sometimes. Believe me, I, of all people, I know how hard and difficult life can get sometimes. But you cannot let those things constantly keep you down, because we're always going to go through stuff. Every single one of us is going to have stuff at some point in our life, and you have to make the decision when you signed up as a coach. Is your why really your why, or does it need to change shape a little bit, and do you need to push through whatever you're pushing through? So I just want to encourage you to know that if you're going through something really, really hard, and you feel like you have to put this on the back burner because it's not worth it, I'm going to tell you that this business is worth it. This business can change your life. This business can help you. It can bless your family. It could change your situation. It could bless your family. You could bless others with it. It's not going to happen overnight. I worked really, really, really hard. I worked more than 5 hours a day in order to make this happen. And I still kept my family as a priority. It was a challenge for sure, and I had to regularly, either take time offline or whatever, but this business was important to me because my family is important to me. My family was my why. And so I hope that you hear my heart in this, and that whatever you're going through, you can be successful. Whatever's difficult for you, you can do this business, even if it looks a little bit different right now, even if it doesn't seem as comfortable. You can make it work for you. And if you don't have a plan on how to make it work within your situation, I highly suggest you talk to your upline. I talked to Michelle, and I texted her, and I vented my frustrations to her, and I also had teammates who understood what was going on in my life, and I would text them like, I'm so frustrated, like, what's going on? I have that support. And if you don't have that kind of upline support, go to their upline. Team Fuel and Team Iron. If you're a coach on Team Fuel, or if you're on Team Iron, there's community there. There's people there who can encourage you and help you, so that way you can push through this together, because we care about your success and we care about you achieving what you want to achieve in this business. So, and I mean, aside from the paycheck, but we want you to feel good about this. This can absolutely 100% change your life. So I hope this encourages you. I hope you hear my heart. And sometimes it's scary when you share stuff like this, because people will assume that you're bragging, and I don't like telling people a whole lot about, like, my husband losing his job and then not having money, and then, you know, struggling, and then living in a trailer on the side of a mountain. It seems so glamorous and like an adventure, but it was a really, really difficult season. And I feel like my relationship with my husband, it suffered a little bit because of it, and no community. I feel like we suffered from it. So I'm so thankful things are changing now, where, you know, my husband's going back into ministry and going to be serving in a local church. So I'm really excited about all those things. But I just wanted to encourage you into this video, just so you guys to understand, like, whatever it is, like, from the minor to the major, like, this business absolutely can bless you. You just have to be willing to work, and you have to be willing to get off your back, and even when life's knocked you down, and say, okay, this sucks, but I'm gonna make it happen. This is a no fail option for me. I'm gonna make it happen. So thanks so much for watching and hearing my story and my heart. If you have any questions, you can email me or leave comments below. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye.